It began like many foolish summer ideas do, with too much beer and a weak signal. Jared's family cabin was located 2 hours outside of Portland, just far enough into the trees to make us forget that other people existed. There was no cell service, no neighbors, just the creaking of pine trees, dirt roads, and a sagging deck that we could pretend was rustic. Jared had the keys and a trunk full of fireworks he had been hoarding since May. On the 4th of July, we made the trip. Jared, his girlfriend Kayla, our friend Darnell and I. We arrived in the late afternoon, and the heat was already intense. The gravel crunched beneath our tires like dry bones. The cabin leaned slightly to the left, as if it knew it shouldn't still be standing. But that was part of its charm, right? Rustic. The scent of pine and damp earth filled the air, and the distant call of a bird added to the serene atmosphere. We unloaded beer, burgers, sparklers, and Roman candles. By 6 o'clock, music was blasting through a Bluetooth speaker, and Jared was shirtless, flipping burgers over a fire that produced more smoke than heat. Kayla danced barefoot in the dirt, her hair wild, and her eyes already glassy from her third hard seltzer. Darnell, the skeptic of the group, rolled his eyes but couldn't help but smile. I, the cautious one, leaned back and watched the sky transition from orange to violet. Despite our different personalities, we were a tight-knit group, bound by years of shared experiences and inside jokes. The first firework went off around 8 o'clock, creating a red burst that was so loud it startled an owl nearby. We laughed and lit more fireworks, a blue comet and a screeching spinner. Each boom echoed into the woods, but strangely, it was only a little. It felt as though something was absorbing the sound. "It sounds strange out here," I said. "The dead trees," Jared shrugged, tossing a lighter between his hands. "They absorb things, I think." By 9:45, a fuse sputtered and shot sideways, fizzling out before it launched. Jared, always the hero, grabbed a flashlight and walked into the tree line to check it. He bent down. I looked up. That's when I saw it. Behind him, just inside the trees, pale, tall, too still. I stood. Jared. He waved me off without turning. I got it. Chill. I didn't chill. He came back a minute later, cursing the damp fuse and holding up a dud. "You good?" I asked. "Yeah, what?" "Thought I saw someone." "Huh, ghost of 4th of July past." I didn't laugh. Near the bonfire, Kayla stood quietly behind a tree, gazing into the darkness. "What's up?" Darnell called. She came back slowly, holding her arms. "I heard my name," she whispered. "You heard what?" "Someone whispered it, like..." She looked around. "Right in my ear." We killed the music. Darnell picked up the flashlight. "Who's out there?" he yelled. Nothing. Then faintly, "Leave." Every one of us caught it. A single word so softly spoken that it seemed to glide past us like a gentle breeze. The air around us instantly thickened with an eerie tension, as if the whisper itself had reached into our very souls. No one argued. We packed quickly, music, drinks, fireworks, shoving everything into the cabin like kids caught trespassing. Kayla was trembling. Jared locked the door. Then she gasped. At the tree line, 4 shapes stood. They weren't moving. They weren't talking. They were just watching. "Do you see them?" she whispered. "I see them," I said. Jared, for once, was silent. Darnell said it first. "Go. Now." We bolted inside, killed the lights, sat on the floor. Nobody spoke. Outside, fireworks still lit up the sky, but they felt distant, wrong, a celebration we'd been locked out of. The forest had gone dead quiet. No crickets, no wind, just heat, sweat, and breathe. Then, tap. The window, just once, then again. None of us moved. Another tap, then nothing. We stayed like that for hours, flinching at every creak until dawn split the sky open like a slow bruise. The forest appeared normal again, as if none of it had happened. We packed without talking. Jared didn't even lock the cabin. On the way home, he didn't say a word. None of us did. That night, he texted. He checked the trail cam. 1:03 रात के समय. A pale, emaciated figure, its skin nearly translucent under the infrared glow of the trail camera, crawled past the cabin porch. It moved slowly, deliberately. Its limbs were unnaturally long and thin, and its eyes seemed to reflect the light of the camera. At the edge of the frame, it came to a stop. Then it turned, faced the camera, and smiled. We should have deleted the footage. I kept reminding myself of that later, lying in bed with my phone screen displaying the frozen image of the creature. Its teeth as thin as bone, its skin nearly translucent under the infrared glow of the trail camera. However, Jared didn't delete the photo. He uploaded it to his private drive. Darnell advised us to leave it alone, but Kayla blocked all of us within a week. By August, Jared wasn't responding to texts. It's strange what our minds choose to forget. For a time, I convinced myself it was just a prank or a costume. Maybe some oddball forest dwellers were messing with us. But then I recalled the sound, how it didn't echo, how it seemed to fall flat, as if the trees themselves were absorbing it. And I remembered how the air grew cold, even though it was July. 2 weeks later, I drove back. I didn't tell anyone about my plan. I convinced myself it was to prove that everything I experienced was just in my head. I wanted to see the place in daylight. I brought a can of bear spray and a knife, but I didn't know how to use either of them. The thought of returning to the cabin filled me with a mix of dread and curiosity. The cabin was still there, perhaps dustier than before. It creaked differently. As I stepped onto the porch, I froze. The trail cam was gone. I opened the door slowly. The whole place stank, musty, with wood rot and something sharp underneath. The air was cold, unnaturally so, like the cabin hadn't seen the sun in weeks. I didn't stay long, but just before I left, I noticed something etched into the far wall near the floorboards. 4 lines, one long horizontal slash beneath them, like someone keeping count. I didn't sleep that night, and I didn't go back. But last week, nearly a year later, Darnell sent me a message. No text, just a screenshot. It was from the new trail cam he'd set up in his backyard. For raccoons, he said. In the image, a pale shape crawls toward his house. Its face turned to the lens, and it smiled. Every year since that night, someone in our group has had a sighting. Sometimes it's a whisper. Other times, it's a figure standing still in the woods, seen from a distance or captured on camera. But always, it smiles. I don't know what we woke up out there. I don't know if it followed us or if we followed it. Maybe lighting up the sky was like knocking on a door. And now, once a year, it answers. So I don't celebrate the 4th anymore. I don't look at the sky when it cracks open with color. Because I know something is watching. And it reminds me